everybody. So for today we're going to be doing some really fun hand lettering so that you can make a nice note for your friend, or to go along with our theme of pets, you could make a cute little quote about your favorite pet. So to get started, these are the materials you'll use. So if you want to pause the video in a minute and go grab these things, you need 3 kinds of black pens: a Sharpie, a ballpoint pen, and a marker. And the best kind of marker for this would be one with a nice chiseled tip. Now, another option would be to have some colored markers, some colored pencils, and a regular pencil with an eraser. And if you have watercolors, you can bring some watercolors too. So if you want to pause the video and go get those items, you can do that now. So to begin, we're going to talk about the different kinds of things that make your hand lettering interesting. So here are a few examples that I did. And one of the things is you want a variety of lines. So you want thick lines and thin lines and very thin lines. Also a little bit of color. When you do this, sometimes you want to have little things on the sides. So we'll talk about making little bloops on the sides, maybe something at the top, something in between your words. So when you make your words in your quote, you can divide them by little things and make little borders like this banner. So we'll do a banner, but first we're going to talk about lines. So if you want to write this down, you can pause the video, but you want to have a variety of lines, and your chisel tip marker will make a nice thick line. Your Sharpie basically makes one line, and of course your pencils and colored pencils will make a thin line. Another thing that you want to think about rotating in your words is capital and lowercase letters. You don't want them to all be the same. Another thing is cursive and print, if you can cursive. I know that a lot of you haven't learned that yet. So we're just going to start with some simple drop shadow. So I'm going to start with my chisel tip marker, and if you want to follow along, you can. At any point, you can fast forward or pause the video if I'm going too fast. So I'm going to start with some simple letters, and I'm going to choose a bright color, and each letter has, you want to look at the stick. So this has 1 stick and this has 2. So you want to look at the right and the left side of each stick. I'm going to drop my shadow on the right side. So I'm going to draw this line, and it's a floating shadow because it's not touching, but I'm going to draw it all the way down. Then I'm going to look at this part of the O and this part. We've got a right and a left. A left and a right, a left and a right. So I want to put this on the right side of this stick and the right side of this stick. Same with the V. I'm going to put it on the right side of this one and then the right side over here. And then of course the E, I'll put it there. So now I've got a little drop shadow. And if you want to embellish it a little bit more, you can even add another color to that just to make it even a little more interesting. So there's the simple drop shadow. Now the next thing I want to do is make a bubble letter. So an easy way to make a bubble letter is to start really lightly with just the sticks. And I'm doing uppercase, but you can do lowercase, it doesn't matter. And then I'm basically just going to make a follow the leader line around the sticks. Wherever you see a point, I'm going to make a little line on the point, and that's going to help me when I'm making my bubble letters. So now I'm just going to follow the leader of the pencil line, and that's how I'm going to get a bubble letter. There's my O, and then for my E, I just follow it around like that. Now, to make this 3D, one way to do it, oh, and you can go back and erase the pencil lines, and if you pressed lightly, it should be really easy to erase. So the next way to make a drop shadow would be to find all the little points on the right side and make a little tick. Actually, I'm gonna do right sides and on the bottom. So I'm gonna make a little tick here, and they're all gonna be diagonal lines like this. So if you wanna do this to help you, that might help you. So I'm gonna make one here, here, and here. Then I'm gonna just make a little one on the O. I make one here, here, and on the E.